Well, good morning and welcome to Facebook Live Tuesday here from the Sharing the Love with Young Living Essential Oils. I hope that, hold on a second, there we go. I hope that everybody's having a fabulous Tuesday morning so far. I'm Eileen Gottlieb, affectionately known as the Heart Healer, and I've been a Young Living distributor for 20 years, and I just love sharing about essential oils. So twice a month here from our Facebook group, we do a Facebook Live, one in the morning, one in the evening, to accommodate our international community. I don't love this morning one, I have to tell you. All right, so this Facebook Live is going to be talking about essential oils for the professional who's in a funk, a fog, and feeling blocked. Because, you know, professionals, people that are artists, that are creators, or that's pretty much anybody. It doesn't have to be a professional, but we're going to focus a little bit on professionals this morning, but know that everything that we're going to talk about is applicable to any creative process, right? So we're going to talk a little bit about essential oils, what they are, just a brief intro. Talk a little bit about holistic approaches to creating balance to support that creative process, to get those creative juices flowing. And then we'll go through a series of essential oils that I love, that promote balance, that promote focus, clarity, connectedness, motivation, etc. And you'll find, interestingly enough, that a lot of the names of the oils that we're going to talk about actually promote the feeling or the ability to do something related to the creative process. Because if you're feeling like you're in a fog, if you're feeling like you're in a funk, or you just can't get the thoughts moving, you're blocked, and you've got a presentation to do, you've got a document you need to create, whatever it is, you'll find that these essential oils really support you in pretty much all of that. So I'm just, if you are here and listening, go ahead and don't forget to let me know you're here. If you have any questions about anything that we share on this broadcast, please type your questions in the thread and know that I will get back to them and respond at some point during the day today or through the next few days as people are looking at the archived recording. Excuse me. It's morning. All right, so a little bit about essential oils, okay? And I love to look at my notes so that I don't forget anything. And I also want you to know that if you're new to essential oils and just starting out, even after 20 years, there's a lot I don't know. And I don't hold a lot of it in my head. There's a wonderful app, in fact, there are probably many of them now, that Life Science Publishing provides to its preferred members, and we're able to purchase them for other people. If that's something that's of interest to you, just be in touch with me, private message. I find that it's fabulous. It's the Essential Oils Desk Reference Pocket version, and it's just got a wealth of information, and because it's on an app, you can take it wherever you go, right? So I like that resource, as well as looking at the youngliving.com website for tidbits of information that help me to pick out what oils I want to share with you, because I don't want to just go with what I'm used to using. I want to explore other options so that we can all grow, right? Okay, so a little bit of a disclaimer. The information in this workshop is not intended to diagnose or treat, nor is it a replacement for your chosen path of medical care. Making choices about one's health care is very personal. Making conscious choices is the greatest gift that we give ourselves, right? So make a conscious choice, right? Okay. All right, let me just double check here. We are doing our thing. Okay. So what are essential oils? They're the lifeblood of a plant. We're just going to go into a couple of things. If you want a more detailed description, then re-listen to the beginning of any of the previously recorded Facebook Live broadcasts, because we have a lot of information I wanted to cover today. So I want to spend a little less time on the history of essential oils and a little bit more time on the information about the oils that will help to shift that funk, fog, and blocked kind of way of feeling. So as the lifeblood of a plant, what essential oils do for a plant, they offer to human beings when we either breathe them in, inhale them, which you can do from the bottle, which I don't highly recommend. Certainly not up your nose, but you can kind of waft it to you, right? You can apply it on your hands. Breathe it in that way. Apply it topically to anywhere in the body, or put it in a diffuser. I like the ultrasonic mist diffusers because it puts microfine droplets of the oil into the air with a little bit of moisture, which is nice in the wintertime up north when you've got heat and it's so dry. Or here in South Florida where I live, it's very dry inside because of the air conditioning that I know I personally live in all year round, except for days like this where it's a little bit chilly, which is why I'm wearing a pashmina. Okay, so when we apply an essential oil, either on the body, we can ingest them depending upon the oil, or we inhale them, they will automatically find their most familiar home. And as the lifeblood, emphasis on the blood, of a plant, they will find their way to our bloodstream because it's the most familiar molecular structure. So they feel very much at home in our bloodstream. And once they enter our bloodstream, they're immediately circulated throughout the body and they cross the blood-brain barrier. So what kind of oil, the quality of the oil that you are choosing to breathe, to apply on your skin, to ingest, I think that's a really important conscious choice to make, because if it finds its way to your bloodstream within a couple of minutes, which it does, then what are you bringing into your body? So an unadulterated oil, an oil that is grown from seed to seal consciously, is what my highest choice is. And Young Living offers that. It's one of the things that I am most proud of about Young Living is their seed to seal process. What that means is that every essential oil, single oil, blend, essential oil infused product, which is what we are known for, all of our products have an essential oil infused in them, and it enhances what they are, whether it's skincare, cleaning products, dental products, you name it. Everything is infused with a therapeutic grade essential oil. And what happens is if you consciously grow, you have seeds that are perfectly created. There's nothing adulterated in them. They've created plants that provide a really good therapeutic benefit, the kind that you want from that type of plant, right? If it's grown in soil that has good quality, that isn't toxic, that has a good healthy water supply and air supply. If you nurture that plant to grow in a way that is wonderful for it, right? And then you harvest it at its peak time, depending upon the therapeutic benefit that you want. And then you distill it from just the right part of the plant to allow for the maximum therapeutic benefit, right? Good morning, Razy. Thanks for joining me. Then what happens is you get the best quality therapeutic grade essential oil, and that's Young Living, right? So how do we know that? Well, we know that because Young Living, because there are no standards in the United States for essential oils, Young Living follows the European standards, and every batch of oil that's distilled is tested for its chemical constituency. And I don't mean chemicals in a bad way. Everything is made up of chemicals, molecules, and everything else. And so they are very conscious about identifying what chemicals are in an essential oil, and as such, and I'm going to sneeze, excuse me. Excuse me. They are so conscious about how they assess and evaluate what's in the essential oil that if there's anything adulterated in it, which can happen just from living in this toxic soup of a closed dome of an earth that we live in, we don't sell them. We don't use them in our products. We don't share them, and we don't share them with anybody else. It's just the way it is. And so that's one of the reasons that I really love Young Living products. Good morning, Angela. Welcome. And bless you too. All right, so essential oils come from all different parts of a plant, from the flower to the root. Again, the reason for where it comes from is dependent upon the therapeutic benefit that you're looking for from that particular essential oil. So let me see if there's anything else, since I'm doing an abbreviated version of this, right? Essential oils all have frequencies. You know, as a facilitator of vibrational healing, which I've been doing for over 24 years, it's amazing how time flies. I tend to look at things from an energetic perspective. And when we look at essential oils as energetic presences, what we know is that, for example, there are all different kinds of things that we do that lower our frequency. And our body needs to be at a certain frequency range in order for it to be healthy, right? Generally 62 to 68 hertz, the body is healthy. Well, drink a cup of coffee and your frequency drops quite low. If you don't use any essential oils or any other means of increasing your frequency, it may take a few days for it to get back up again. Now, for those of you that drink coffee every morning, you never really get it back up again, so to speak, right? And so what happens is when you breathe in an essential oil, again, drop a couple of drops on your hand, breathe it, or have it diffusing in your environment, right? What happens is your frequency goes right back up within seconds. To me, that's an amazing benefit to having essential oils be a part of my day-to-day life. And that's why I choose to have incorporated them in pretty much every aspect of my day. So different schools of application. In France, they do primarily oral. There are actually essential oil pharmacies in France where physicians write out a prescription and you go fill it, and so on. England is primarily topical, and Germany is primarily through inhalation. In the United States, because we are little latecomers to the game of essential oils and aromatherapy, we actually use a combination of all three routes of application. And so, how do you decide which route of application to choose? It depends on the therapeutic benefit that you want. And there are a lot of resources that you can refer to that will help you to make that choice. All right. So today, what are we going to talk about? We're going to talk about, we've talked about our little bit of essential oil introduction, talk a little bit about holistic approaches to creating balance to support that creative process, and some essential oils that will promote balance, focus, clarity, etc. Okay, so in order to be in a creative space, I know that we've all experienced these moments where, boy, the thoughts, the creative juices, they're just flowing, right? You don't want to go to sleep. It's 1 o'clock in the morning and you just keep going at the computer. Or if you're an artist, you're painting or you're sculpting or you're drawing or you're writing, whatever it is, you just want to stay in that moment of flow because it feels so wonderful, right? Well, what happens when you can't access that? And as professionals, we need to be able to access our creative thought, our creative mind. Our ability to focus is needed, to be grounded, to be in the present moment. And if for whatever reasons we can't access that, we feel that feeling of being foggy, just in a funk, and we can feel blocked, where we just can't seem to get past that moment. You know, we're just, there's like a wall around us, and it isn't visible, but it certainly feels like it's there. Okay, so what are some of the reasons that we go into that way of being? A funk, a fog, a block. Unresolved emotions, stress from pretty much any different source, poor diet, not enough sleep, and being out of balance in general. Those were some of the ideas that came to me as I was creatively creating this presentation, all right? So, unresolved emotions. What kind of oils can we use that promote balance in our emotions, right? There are several of them. And in fact, when I first started using essential oils, these were the oils, and still are the ones, that I tend to be in the most intimate of relationships with. Because in my private practice, that was why people were coming for sessions in the beginning. They were stuck in their lives. They were feeling like they just couldn't get that forward momentum. They were feeling blocked. They didn't feel really good, right? Emotions were definitely something that were up for them, and they couldn't clear them, couldn't move through them. You know what that feels like. We all experience that. You know, to be human is to have emotions. To have emotions is to feel their broad spectrum, because from an energetic perspective, they're either a low frequency emotion, those are the ones that don't feel good, or they're a very high frequency emotion, the ones that do feel good. And if we delete our judgment of how they feel, I'm inviting you to consider they're just information in the form of an energy frequency that lets us know where we are in the human experience, right? So what are some of the emotions that we can be experiencing that can promote that feeling of funk or feeling blocked? I don't so much put fogginess in that area, but it can be. Some of the examples are fear, frustration, hopelessness. And actually, I'm going to put that fog in there because I think that even the grieving process, I have a dear friend who's actually here with us today, Razy, that coined the phrase, it's called Shiva brain. And for those people that observe a Jewish ritual called Shiva, after someone dies or transitions to spirit, there is this where you just feel after that time of passing, when you're in the middle of all the emotions of grief, that your brain just can't function properly. So emotions can definitely create a limitation in our ability to be clear thinking, if that's a good way of languaging it, right? So essential oils that help us to move forward, to clear that fogginess, to help us to be more present. Here are some of them: valor, peace and calming, hope, believe, present time, motivation. Now, why did I mention these? So fear is oftentimes, to me, any emotion that doesn't feel good, fear is at the root of it. That may not be part of your belief system, but if it's something that you can consider as a possibility, what I would invite you to do is, when you are feeling blocked or in a funk, ask yourself, what am I feeling? Because if the emotion is what's creating the inability to be in that creative process, then if you identify the emotion and focus on clearing it, then that will open up those creative pathways again, right? And so depending upon what the emotion is, to me, would depend upon what oil I would choose. So fear, valor is my first choice. There's a lot of different oils in it. That's V-A-L-O-R. Excuse me. That is truly one of my favorite oils. And I would put it on my feet and on my shoulders, and just a couple of drops. Remember, if you've watched any of these Facebook Live videos, I will always share with you, less is more. 1 to 2 drops to start with. See how that feels. You can always reapply because essential oils are volatile. What that means is they evaporate without heat. So don't heat them up on those little glass dishes under a tea light or on a ring on a light bulb. You'll ruin the therapeutic benefit of the oil, okay? Because heating changes its chemical constituency, therefore, its therapeutic benefit. Okay, so valor, peace and calming. Because if you're feeling emotionally stressed, peace and calming can bring you into a state of peace and calming, right? That's one of my favorites for going to bed at night too. Hope, you know, if you're going through a phase of your life where you're just feeling hopeless, you've lost your vision, you've lost your purpose, your focus on your why, right? And as a professional, if we don't know and keep a focus on what our purpose is, what is our mission, what is our vision for our businesses, or for any day-to-day activities, what did we intend for that day, right? And if we've lost that focus, then by bringing in, kind of reining in our energy with oils like hope, like believe, like present time, helps us to get centered right in the moment, get focused, and be able to reestablish our connection consciously to what it is that is our intention. What is our mission? What is our passion? What is our vision? For our business, for the project that we are choosing to be creative about or having the challenge with being creative for. Okay? Motivation, if you're just not feeling motivated, motivation oil is fabulous, right? Okay, so stress. Stress can be caused from so many different aspects of being alive and in a body. If we breathe, we grieve. If we breathe, we have stress. If we breathe, we have emotions, right? So this is just part of being human. So having these wonderful therapeutic grade essential oils as natural, non-toxic remedies that won't interfere with medications, that won't interfere with other modalities, that will only enhance them, to me is like the best gift that nature gives us, right? Okay, so different kinds of stress. Physical stresses from illness, lack of sleep or poor sleep, sleep that's not recuperative, that every hour waking up to go to the bathroom, or you can't shut your mind off, kind of lack of quality sleep. Poor diet, environmental factors. So my favorite solutions to promote balance from stress are lavender, which is an adaptogen. And what that means is that both on the physical and the emotional level, it helps us to adapt to situations. So it promotes balance in our ability to adapt, both on the cellular level as well as globally, emotionally, mentally, spiritually. When we're calm, we're more present. When we're more present, we're more able to focus. When we're more able to focus, we can more consciously attend to the task at hand, which in this context is getting our creative juices flowing, right? Okay, stress away, harmony. Harmony, 1 drop in your hand, rub it together, touch it on all your chakras, head, third eye, throat, heart. Solar plexus is in between the heart and the belly button. The sacral center is right below the belly button, all in the middle. The root you can do at the base of the spine, or just put your hands on your lap. And your joints, shoulders, elbows, wrists, hands, hips, knees, ankles, feet. Those are your main chakras and your main minor chakras. When you put like 1 to 2 drops of harmony on your hand and just touch all of those and breathe, write to me and tell me how fabulous that is for you, right? Because it does. It evokes a feeling of harmony, of balance. All right, what are my other favorites? Any citrus oil. If you're finding that emotions are really part of your stress, citrus oils are happy oils. They promote balance in our emotions in an upward way. So as happy oils, they help us to mitigate any of the emotions that are low frequency, that are creating the stress, right? Citrus Fresh is a favorite, and that's actually a new oil in the premium starter kit. Lavender is in that premium starter kit. Let me see if there's any other ones that I've mentioned so far. I don't think so. Okay, so poor diet. That creates an incredible amount of stress on the body. Petrochemicals in our foods that we ingest, that are in the products that we put on our skin, lotions, face creams, you name it. Toothpastes, if you're not looking at your labels, you're ingesting a lot of toxic chemicals that circulate in your body, through your skin, through your the buccal membranes in your mouth. It's amazing how absorbent our skin is. And so remember what we said earlier. What happens when we apply essential oils to our skin or we breathe them? Where's their favorite home? Right, they come to the bloodstream within minutes and they're circulating all over the body. So what's your conscious choice? Putting an oil in your body that you know is free of petrochemicals, free of any toxins, or buying something off the shelf at the health food store? I know what my choice is, but everybody has to make their own, and to do so with a conscious intention, I think, is very empowering. So what happens with these petrochemicals that we ingest or apply to our skins, they create a congestion on the receptor sites in the brain and create what Gary Young calls brain fog, right? So that's the foggy part of our professionals who are having a funk, a fog, or a block, right? Because if we can't think clearly, we can't create. Our creative juices are absolutely stymied in the most frustrating of ways, right? Okay, so my first favorite choice for this is brain power. Brain power helps to support a real good, deep ability to concentrate. It channels our physical energy into mental energy. It increases our mental potential and clarity. It's high in sesquiterpenes. That's one of the chemicals in these single oils that are in this blend, which increases activity in different parts of the brain. And I'm reading this because I want to make sure that I'm saying it correctly. The pineal gland, the pituitary gland, and the hypothalamus gland. And these all, by stimulating them, it increases growth hormone and melatonin output. It helps dissolve the photochemicals that congest these receptor sites and lifts that fog. So we're able to think more clearly. It just creates an incredible amount of balance in our ability to think and all the different parts of the process that go into thinking, right? Another really wonderful one that is an ingredient in brain power is cedarwood. That's a single oil. It's got a yummy, woodsy smell. It's great. One of the places that is good to apply, you can diffuse them, but you can also put a drop in your hand, activate it, breathe it in, and apply it to the occiput. You know, it's that ridge in the back of the head where the skull meets the top of the neck. And so that's a really good place to also apply brain power or cedarwood. Another one is the Kids Sense Genius. That's Geneys. Great for anyone of any age because it's formulated for kids, but it's great for all of us. And it helps to gather our ability to focus. Right? So anything that limits that ability to focus, that clarity of thought, Genius is a really wonderful one to help with that. Okay, so we've talked about that. Not enough sleep. Peace and calming lavender, stress away. Kids Sense sleepy eyes. That's another one that I love. It's not just for kids, Mom, but it's a really good one. If it's for kids, just take one drop, put it on the bottom of their feet, little drop under their nose. They'll be restful and probably asleep within a few minutes. I know that with my great niece and nephew when they were little, that really helped a lot when my niece was putting them to bed. And I happen to like the smell of it myself. So don't discount the Kid Sense oils as being just for kids, right? Okay, being out of balance in general, harmony. I think it's the easiest and simplest solution. Harmony, it brings harmony and balance to everything, right? Okay, solutions for being in a fog, funk, or blocked. Brain power, cedarwood, clarity. That's one of my favorites too. I'll just put it on my computer, open the bottle when I'm working on a project and I just can't get clear about what it is that I want to do. I can't get my intentions clear. Great to do your new moon intention setting, which is coming up this week. Let's see, Ula Balance and Ula Grow. I really like those two. You can read on Young Living who the Ula guys are. That's O-O-L-A. I want to read you this because this is just so amazing to me. Ula Balance it aligns and balances our center, right? Whatever that means to you, our center. We need our center, our focused presence within, right? And that helps to promote that, right? And it helps by doing that. It promotes an increased concentration and a positive outlook. Ula Grow is designed to reach unlimited potential, to assist us in reaching our unlimited potential. And it supports our sense of courage, because sometimes when we're in that creative process, we get a little scared about what we're creating, or are we going to be able to create it? That's why I always say, whatever the emotion is, just go down to what the fear is, because there's always going to be one there, right? Okay, so it supports our courage and our ability to focus on the task at hand. There are a lot of different oils you'll notice as we talk about them, especially the blends that have overlapping benefits. So it's really a matter of which ones you like. I like to choose intuitively what feels that it will really support me in that moment. So just kind of play with it and see what feels good. There's so many wonderful options to choose from. Okay, so let me just make sure that I've mentioned all the oils that I want to, so that you have that list. So we talked about, and now these are oils that are going to assist in promoting balance in whatever aspect of who we are that is the underlying cause for us being in a funk, brain foggy, or just blocked. When we're in that creative process, whether we are professionals in business or we are artists that are in that creative process and creating whatever it is that we do, whether it's art or, it may be all different kinds of artistry that is the creative or expresses the creative process. So brain power, remember to put that on the back of the brain stem, the occiput. Cedarwood is an ingredient in brain power, and it's a bit less expensive, and you might find that to be lovely. Lavender is always a simple one, and that's in the premium starter kit. Harmony, perfect for exactly what it says. It just helps to create and promote harmony in all the different aspects of who we are. Joy, to me, if grief is one of the emotions that you are dealing with, or any of those low frequency emotions, to me, a drop of joy on the heart just helps to lift our vibration. It's uplifting. It evokes that feeling of joy. And anything that increases our emotional state of balance enhances our creativity and our ability to get those creative juices flowing. We talked about stress away, the Kid Sense genius, clarity, motivation. If you're just that procrastinator with a capital P, right? Motivation's great. It's wonderful to help really move forward in getting the task done, whatever it is. Hope, that actually is part of the Essential Rewards bonus this month. So that's another one. To me, that promotes the opposite feeling of hopelessness. So if the emotions that you're feeling are hopeless, can't move from this place. There's just nothing's going to change. You know, those are some of the self-words, that self-talk that you might hear yourself saying, right? So hope might be an oil that you might consider. Present time, anytime we're feeling scattered, in a funk, we can't focus, can't get clarity, to me, present time brings us right here. Can't create if we're not right here. So a nice breath in. Focus that next breath on the heart center. Pick any oil you want, especially present time. Here you are. The more you're right here in the present moment, the more empowered you are to make conscious choices, no matter what it is. But when you're talking about getting out of that funk, getting out of the blocked way of being, to get your creative juices flowing, present time is fabulous. Believe. Let's say the issue is you're having a hard time believing in what you're working on, right? You've lost your ability to know what your passion, what your vision, what your mission was. Believe is a great blend to help get reconnected to what you know and trust and what you believe about who you are and why you're doing what you're doing. That's part of that creative process. Oh, I don't want to forget lemon and peppermint. I'm so glad I wrote these down. Lemon is also in the premium starter kit, and so is peppermint and frankincense, all three of them. And I want to share with you some of their benefits for this creative process that we've been talking about. Lemon, interestingly enough, promotes clarity of thought. Now remember, it's a citrus, so it helps. It's a happy oil, so if emotion is part of why you're blocked, it helps to be very uplifting. But it helps also with a clarity of thought and purpose. It enhances your memory. So if you're having a problem remembering what it is that what the focus is, and memory is part of it, you want to access part of your memory, or you're having issues with your memory, this will create balance with that part of your brain that will enhance your ability to remember, for retention, for recall. All right, it also promotes balance in the circulatory system, and anything that promotes balance in the circulatory system enhances the flow of oxygen, which all essential oils do in their own way. They all raise our frequency in their own way, and all that creates movement and creates flow, right? If anything that creates balance in the circulatory system enhances oxygen carrying capacity in the body and flow. That creates a better mindfulness, better brain function, no matter what that function is that we are endeavoring to access. Peppermint also great to enhance balance in our ability to stay attentive to the task at hand, focus, concentration, our accuracy, most beneficial when it's inhaled. So you can leave the bottle open on your laptop or in that work area that you are, or put it on the diffuser. Frankincense, to me, especially if your creative process is inclusive of connecting to your spirit, to your source. That's the way I, access information, whether it's creating a small talk like this or anything else. I absolutely want to connect into my soul and to that part of my wisdom. And so frankincense is always going to be my first oil that I go to. And it's always sitting on my laptop when I'm talking to you, before I start work with a client. Anything. I like it because that's where I want that information to flow from when I'm in my creative process. So either frankincense or sacred frankincense, they are my favorites. Okay. And then I mentioned Ula Balance and Ula Grow. All right. Any questions before we complete our time together? Because I know we've gone a little bit over, and I apologize for that. Any questions at all? All right. Well, if questions come up for you after we complete this broadcast, please feel free to post them on the thread beneath the video. And I'm going to wish you all an amazingly fabulous oily day. Enjoy your essential oils, and thanks so much for joining me. Remember that we will be gathering again in the evening in a couple of weeks, so stay tuned on our Facebook group for that. If any of these oils resonate with you, or you're new to Young Living and you want to get started, 3 different ways to place an order. One, if you're already a Young Living independent consultant or distributor, just go into your back office, go into virtual office, place an order, either add an oil to your Essential Rewards order, or go ahead and place a quick order. If someone else invited you to this call, please get back in touch with them, and they will help you place your first order, or they'll help you get started with Essential Rewards. Whatever you would like to do, that's the person you want to be in touch with. And if I'm the person that connected you to these divine essential oils, be in touch with me. You know I love to share. Have a fabulous day. Blessings, everybody. Bye.